Hello everyone, Macy Lou here. Welcome back to A Wild Approach. And in today's video, I want to talk about ironweed. So I've already made a native plant profile video of ironweed, so this is kind of going to be a review with some new information. So this year, 2025, has been a really great year in my garden for butterflies. It's been explosive in a good way for getting the swallowtail butterflies to show up and to hang out and to stick around for a lot longer than they used to. And so I want to talk about ironweed and how it's been helping me to attract a lot of these larger butterflies. So ironweed is a very tall, well, I guess it depends on which ironweed you're getting, but typically ironweed is tall and it is a purple flower and it is a late season flower. So it is blooming in my garden right now, and as I record this video, it is August 26th, 2025, and it is blooming quite a bit right now, and it has been attracting so many butterflies. It's been attracting the eastern tiger swallowtail a ton. Males and females, just like crazy. It's been attracting the typical stereotype eastern tiger swallowtail, that is the yellow and black butterfly, but it's also been attracting a lot of the dark form eastern tiger swallowtails. And it's also been attracting pipevine swallowtail butterflies and monarch butterflies as well. Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you are enjoying this content so that I can know what videos you all like the best. Hi guys, cutting in here real quick to let you know that I have a new feature on my channel, and it is the join button. If you click the join button, there are going to be two options for you to choose from. You can choose to be a part of the Cozy Cottage group for $2.99 a month, which would give you the loyalty badges, emoji, and early access to all of my new videos. Or you can choose Secret Sanctuary for $9.99 a month, and this includes everything else I already mentioned in the $2.99 plus members-only live streams. So if we get some members in the Secret Sanctuary, I will have special members-only live streams. So thank you guys for considering it. Whether or not you can, I appreciate you very, very much. Back to the video. And it's, of course, always attracting the little small skipper butterflies and the kind of, I guess, a little bit larger skipper butterflies, the little silver spotted skippers, is attracting those as well. So it has been doing fantastic this year. I've had ironweed in my garden for many, many years, and this is the first time that it's attracting them to this level. Although it does and it has attracted them quite a bit in the past, just this is the first year where it's attracting them at such a high rate that I'm putting it right up there with anise hyssop. If you haven't watched it already, I recently came out with a video about anise hyssop and how much it has attracted the swallowtail butterflies. And I don't just mean like they come and they feed on it and then they leave. What I mean here is it keeps these swallowtails in the garden for hours at a time. So that's not a small feat. It can actually be tricky to do that, especially here in the city where our butterfly numbers may already be low, especially with the larger butterflies. If you're in a rural area, you probably don't have to really worry about attracting all kinds of butterflies because you probably get a lot more of a population where you're at. But in the city, it can feel a little bit trickier, even when we have a lot of host plants right in our neighborhoods. I mean, my neighborhood is filled to the brim with host plants of all kinds of butterflies, everything from keystone plants like oaks and cherries, all the way through more specialist plants like the tulip poplar and things like that. Or I guess the tulip poplar is not the best example, but it's not a keystone, and it only hosts like a small number of our butterflies, diversity-wise, but it is a favorite of the eastern tiger swallowtail, for example, in my area. So, in other words, I've got not only keystone trees, but I've also got non-keystone trees in my neighborhood. And even with that, it can be tricky to get these larger butterflies to hang around for long periods of time. So that's why I'm doing this video. I want to bring this to you all because a lot of you, even though you come here for, the native plant content overall and in general, I find that a lot of you that interact with my videos and that comment on my videos are talking about butterflies just as much as I am. And so even though I did that poll recently where I asked you come here for the butterfly content, for the native plant content, for the pond content, or for the garden tours, it was overwhelmingly native plant content at the top, and then butterfly content number 2 on the list. But again, the people who I find interact the most are the people who are interested in butterflies. So I think that we can call the native plant content the most important element, I guess, but the butterfly content seems to be pretty close second. So I do like to tie in native plants and butterfly gardening together because I think they are such a good fit together. And when you invite butterflies to your garden, they're going to lay eggs if you have host plants, and they're going to create, they're going to come out of those eggs as caterpillars, which is going to be a food source for your birds, and then your birds are going to have something to eat. They're going to be able to feed those caterpillars to their young and have nests. I had 3 or 4 bird nests in my garden this year, and I'm only on 1/4 of an acre. So if that doesn't tell you that it's a good wildlife oasis out there, I don't know what does, because that was the most amount of bird nests I have had in my garden that I can think of over the past 6 years. So I think that's a testament to the work that we've done here. And I do also want to say a thank you to everybody who's ever helped me in my garden, because it has been not just me. And yes, I've done some pretty tough projects and done a lot of manual labor in this garden and dug trenches and things like that. So I'm not going to say I haven't worked hard and I haven't sweated really hard, but I've also had a lot of help where I know I need it. So I had help digging the pond. In fact, I left that up to my husband and his brother, and it was awesome. They did a great job digging the actual hole for the pond. So, it's not just been me, it has been a community effort. And then, commissioning my gate, my neighbor built my gate, and, it's just, it takes the whole community to create something just so, I don't know, beautiful, I guess. I don't know, just something, I almost said complicated, but that sounds like a negative thing, but like, the more complicated you want your space to be and the more elements you want in it, the more you might need help. And that's totally fine, and don't feel bad if you need to ask for help, I have scoliosis, so, my back pain, is up and down, sometimes I have no pain at all, and sometimes it's really bad, so sometimes you just need help, and that's totally fine. And I just want to say that because there are some projects I take on that it looks like I'm doing it all, and sometimes I'm doing it all, certain projects, but sometimes I'm having help. So I just want to be totally clear about that, because it's good, in fact, to ask for help when you need it. That being said, Ironweed is, in my opinion, right up there with Anise hyssop, but especially this year, we have had so much rain this year, more than normal. August started out with a lot of rainstorms, and I'm just not used to that. I'm used to rainstorms being July. Normally that's July's syllabus or agenda or whatever you want to call it. And then August comes and everything just dries up, but not this year. Thankfully, this year, August has been wet, and it has been making, I think, the flowers produce more nectar. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a botanist. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but I have read online that rain can affect nectar. I'm just not sure exactly what direction it affects it, but I would gather that if the plant is happier and has more moisture, has more opportunity to grow and thrive, the more likely it is to produce more nectar. That's just my logic, just intuitively. So if that's wrong, leave a comment down below and roast me, because we need to have that in the comments if I'm mistaken. But from my limited perspective, just me, one girl in her garden, this year I've had way more butterfly visitors, way more of the larger butterflies, the swallowtails, and they've stayed so much longer. So that's kind of the evidence I'm going off of anecdotally here, and that's what I've seen. So if you want to know more about ironweed, let's get right into that. In celebration of spooky season, I've designed a brand new shirt called Night Watch, which features the owl that showed up to our garden just a few weeks ago for the very first time. I think this is a great shirt for the Halloween and autumn season, and I hope you guys do too. Check it out at my link in the description. Do you need a short, quick guide to get started in wildlife gardening? Well, turns out I've got just the thing. I just came out with a new free ebook just for you, and it's called A Wild Approach to Gardening 101, and it's available on my website today at macylou.com/shop. It's free, so go check it out. What do you have to lose? So there are different types of ironweed, and I'm actually going to insert the previous ironweed video right now so that you can see the type that I have in my garden. And when I say the type I have, it's either tall ironweed or New York ironweed. I actually don't remember which one. I think I have seeds for both of those, and I just can't remember which ones are actually the ones that have thrived and grown. But I will say they are very tall, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are literally tall ironweed, because a lot of them are tall. So let's get into the information about ironweed. Today we will be discussing two different ironweed plants, New York ironweed and tall ironweed. Here is the native range for New York ironweed. And here's the native range for tall ironweed. New York ironweed gets 5 to 7 foot tall. It likes full sun. It gets purple blooms sometime between August and October. It's found in moist soils in the wild, but will flourish in regular or dry soil in your garden. It tolerates clay and neutral to acidic conditions. It's jugalone or black walnut tolerant, and it's a tall, narrow plant suited for the back of the border or tight spaces. And I got my information from the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center website, and you can find that at wildflower.org. I want to mention both New York ironweed and tall ironweed in this video because they're very similar, even though they do have differences. I'm pretty sure I planted New York ironweed, but it's been years since I started my first ironweed plants, and so I could be incorrect. Mine get very tall, and my original stand of ironweed gets chopped earlier in the season so they don't get too tall and flop over. It's since self-sown in many areas of the garden, and I have plenty now. The self-sown ones so far don't usually get quite as tall as the originals that I grew from seed and cultivated. They may get taller over the years as they mature, or maybe some will be shorter and some taller depending on water and light. Some get tall, but they are near the bottom of the hill, near the front fence, and that area gets a lot more moist. These two ironweeds can also hybridize from my research, so keep that in mind. As you saw in the beginning of the video, their native ranges overlap a little bit. Ironweed is an excellent pollinator plant. Bees and butterflies both love it. You can probably tell by the footage, birds also love to visit this plant. I personally find that in my full sun areas, it's best to put this plant in the back or near the back, such as in the front of evergreen shrubs, since they do typically get tall as they mature. They're fantastic to grow along with goldenrod, frostweed, joe pye weed, and native asters, depending on your soil and light conditions. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button, just so I know that this is a video that you guys really are coming here for and you're after and you love it. And please leave me a comment down below and let me know, do you like ironweed? Is it native to your area? And do you think that it attracts a lot of butterflies to your garden? Or is it more of a bee attractor in your garden? Let us know in the comments down below. And other than that, thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate you guys. Bye! Hey guys, don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram. These are the two best social media accounts other than YouTube where you can find me and you can see me post photos of the garden, thoughts on wildlife, and more. So don't forget to follow me over there. Brand new items are now available in the shop. Thanks so much to viewers like you for supporting the channel. To support the channel, like the video, comment, and subscribe. You can also support my work by buying art from me at macylou.com. Thanks for watching!